Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on the C Show, we are here to talk about the game we saw tonight. Um, Cincinnati versus Houston. This was a very low scoring game. Both quarterbacks struggle in this game. Um, and obviously, like I said, Houston was going to win this game. I thought Cincinnati struggled too much last week versus the Ravens. Um, and I think there is problems there. I think there really is. I think Marvin Lewis is on his way out. I think he's lost the team. Ever since that playoff loss 2 years ago to the Steelers, I believe he has lost that team. That was a heartbreaking loss. First of all, that year they seemed like they were finally going to get through and advance in the playoffs. But then Andy Dalton broke his finger, and then they all fell apart. Obviously, they still have a great chance to win that playoff game, and they lose it in overtime because of stupid penalties and ever since then, I feel like this last team, last year, I feel like they struggled. I thought it had to do with the year when they lost the playoffs 2 years ago, and this year so far, they look lost once again. They look like they have no energy. It feels like Marvin Lewis has lost his team, and it is time for Marvin Lewis to leave. I believe at some point, whether it's in the season or after the season, I believe Marvin Lewis will be no longer the coach of this team. This team looks absolutely lost. Andy Dalton I don't know about what's going to happen with Andy Dalton right now. I think he will continue to be the starting quarterback for this team. But man, he is also struggling. Has only scored 9 points in the first 2 games of the season. 9 points for Mr. Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is struggling right now. Tonight, he really struggled. He can never get going. He can never get his team going. The longest drive they had was in the second half, 10 minutes, and all they were able to get out of it was a field goal. This guy is struggling. This team is struggling, and who knows? This could have been an ass whooping if Watson is not making his first career start. If Watson would have been a veteran, this could have been even worse. These two quarterbacks are struggling, but the difference is one of the quarterbacks has been in the NFL for 7 years, where the other one has only been in the NFL for 2 weeks, and it's his first career start. So, look, there's a huge difference, obviously there. Andy Dalton really struggled last week. He continues to struggle tonight. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Andy Dalton, but I will not be surprised if at one point Andy Dalton gets sit down and has to watch the game. I don't know who the hell they're going to start. This team looks lost. Marvin Lewis, I think he will be gone once the season is over. Maybe even in the season. I don't know. Marvin Lewis looks like he has lost the team. Andy Dalton's really struggling. I don't know if that's part of it, where Andy Dalton does not believe in Marvin Lewis anymore. That could also be a thing. Andy Dalton looked very frustrated tonight. At times he looked, it just looks like they don't want to play for Marvin Lewis anymore. That's what I'm seeing from this team. I don't think they no longer want to play for this man. And this man has been in this team for a long time. And at times they've had good years. He takes them to the playoffs, but then they fall flat on their face in the playoffs. They have never won a playoff game with Marvin Lewis. I feel sorry for Cincinnati, but it looks like Marvin Lewis is the problem. It looks like Marvin Lewis needs to be fired very soon. And then you have to look at Andy Dalton. Is Andy Dalton the right guy moving forward, or do you need to tear it apart and start all over with the franchise? Because Andy Dalton has been in the league for, I believe, 7 years now. In the last 2 years, he has really fallen. So, has Andy Dalton Did he reach his highest level and now is he just coming down? Because if that's his highest levels to go to the playoffs and get eliminated in the first game, then that's not the quarterback you want for your franchise, is it? You need to consider looking somewhere else. And you need to consider maybe tearing it down. I don't know. You have to have a pretty good defense. Pretty good wide receivers, obviously. A.J. Green, Eifert, the tight end. It's a pretty good team. I believe you should still keep Andy Dalton. What I believe is you should fire Marvin Lewis and get a new guy in there. Get a fresh voice in there. I think that's what this team needs. I look at this team. This is a pretty good football team, to be honest with you. I think that what they need is that they need a new coach. They need a new face. They need a new voice. They need somebody to lead them. They are tired of Marvin Lewis. Marvin Lewis has lost his team. And I don't think, some people are saying, get everybody out of there and start all over. I don't believe that's the problem. I believe they just have to fire Marvin Lewis, bring a new fresh voice in there. And I believe guys like Andy Dalton, Eifert, A.J. Green will respond a lot better once they get that fresh new voice in there. That's what I believe Cincinnati must do very soon. Fire Marvin Lewis. Bring a new man in there. Bring a young coach who has energy. That's what this team needs, energy. Tonight I saw Marvin Lewis. Do you have personality, my son? Do you have personality? That's what Cincinnati has to do. Bring in a young coach who has some energy and you can get these guys back to playing the right football. Because we've seen this team 2 years ago. They looked pretty damn good until Andy Dalton broke his finger late in the season and then everything fell apart. We know this team can do it. It's just, to me, it's that for some reason Marvin Lewis can never win the playoffs. Something happens to this man. I understand it's harder in the playoffs. But also, if you can't win the playoffs, I don't care if it's harder or not, you have to go. There's no coach that's going to survive more than 3-5 years if they can't win the playoffs. Trust me. If you can't win in the playoffs, that means you will never win a Super Bowl, and nobody wants to go to the playoffs and get eliminated. Yeah, at least where you don't suck. Yeah, but what's the point? If you cannot have a chance to get in the playoffs and try to win the whole thing, what's the point of going to the playoffs? Really, to be honest with you, it just makes it a lot tougher. Once your season is over, we lost. We lost in the playoffs. We won 10, 11 games, 12 games to lose in the playoffs in the first round. That's just not working out. But yeah, that's what they got to do. Anyways, let's talk about Houston Texans. Like I said, young quarterback here, Watson, a winner in college, plays 2 straight national championship games, won one, lost the other. Can flat out play. Tonight, a struggle at times, understandable, making his first start in the league and just about gets a few days to get ready. So he's going to struggle. But at the same time, I thought in the second half, he started showing some flashes that he ran for, a 50-yard touchdown. It's understandable for this guy to struggle. I think everybody knew this guy was going to struggle tonight. First start in the league, and he's only get a few days. But I thought for the most part, I thought he did a good job of taking care of the football and not throwing any interceptions, not fumbling the ball. I thought this man Watson did a nice job of playing smart football. Yes, he had some throws that could have been intercepted. Let's be honest. He could have had some interceptions. So let's not be so kind to Mr. Watson here. He had some throws where he's going to be looking at the film and saying, damn. So he has got to be a lot careful. So, he could have had maybe 1-2 interceptions, but he didn't. So he got a little bit lucky. But for the most part, he struggled, but he did a nice job of staying focused, calling the nice plays, and finding a way for it, doing enough, and finding a way for his team to be able to win this game. 13 points. Trust me, most often than not, that's not going to work out in the NFL. But tonight it did. Obviously, you go with a struggling team like Cincinnati, They got a little bit lucky tonight. I thought that defense showed up. I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how much it's Cincinnati struggling or if Houston's defense has been too good. I don't know it. But yes, I thought as far as Watson goes, I thought he did a nice job of staying focused, not getting frustrated, and doing enough for his team to win this football game tonight. 13 points, son. More often than not, that's not going to get it done. You need to play better when you go against better teams. But for tonight, we'll take this, okay, son? And by the way, like I said, that 50-yard touchdown run was pretty crazy. So that was obviously his best play of the night. And like I said, this kid showed flashes of what he can be. And that's all you can ask for. And all you can ask for is for that guy to stay focused and focus and not be frustrated. I thought he did a nice job. Like at times, he could have 1 or 2 interceptions, but he got lucky that the Cincinnati players dropped the ball. Otherwise, he could have had a few interceptions there. He needs to do a little bit job of reading the coverage, if you know what I'm saying. But for the most part, I thought he did a nice job and did what he had to do to win this game. Obviously, there's room for improvement. He has a long ways to go. But good job, Watson. Good job. Defensively, Houston, like I said, I thought they played good tonight. I want to see a little bit more. I did want to see a little bit more from that defensive line, bringing the pressure to Andy Dalton. I expected to see a little bit more sacks, but oh well. But that's what we can say. Obviously, Houston offensive line needs to get a lot of work. They need to get better because that offensive line looks terrible. And you need to find more, even though he's a mobile quarterback, an athletic quarterback, you need to be able to protect this young man a little bit more. Otherwise, you're going to rush him in. You're going to make him force some throws in there that could end up getting an interception. So even though he can move around, you have got to protect him better. Otherwise, he may start forcing some throws in there and some tight coverages and throwing some unnecessary interceptions, if you know what I'm saying. So the line has got to do a little bit job of protecting Watson so he doesn't force the ball in there and tight coverages. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say for tonight's game, ladies and gentlemen. An ugly game. It was ugly, but on one side, I feel like it's more us. The team the coach has lost his team. And on the other side, obviously, when you have your quarterback starting on just a few days, it's normal. But anyway, 13-9 was the final score. And that's all I have to say for tonight on the CE Show. I want to thank all of you for watching the CE Show tonight. And until next time, I will see you later. Tomorrow, as of right now, we have no topics. So if you have an idea, put it in the comments section so I can know what to do tomorrow. If not, I'll put it on I'll make up a topic as the day goes along tomorrow. But tomorrow, like I said, is one of those days on Fridays where if you want to, you can be the producer of the CE Show and pick a topic. As of right now, I don't have a topic. And if you put a comment down there and say, this is what I want you to talk about, CE, I will gladly talk about it. As long as it doesn't really matter. I said I only wanted to focus on Major League Baseball and football, but it doesn't matter. We'll talk about the NBA if you want. Anyway, UFC, anything. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I will see you later. I performed tonight. Damn it! 18 minutes? Are you fucking kidding me? See, you need to shut the Oh my Lord, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. Oh my man, I need to know my role and shut my mouth. 14 minutes. I'm so stupid. I thought it said 18. Too stupid, see? I need to go to school again. Are you stupid, see? I need to close all these apps. I am so stupid. I thought it said 18. It said 13. And now it says 14. Oh my Lord, for a minute there I got scared, ladies and gentlemen, thinking I shut the shit on the CE Show for 18 minutes. Oh my Lord. I apologize for my stupidity. School may be a possibility down the road again. Oh my Lord, I honestly, it said 13. I honestly said it said 14. Oh my Lord. See, I made that video once about how I got confused with the numbers on I think it was like when Jose Quintana went to the Cubs. I thought it said 19 or whatever it was, and then it ended up being 2007. And this guy got so mad at me. I apologize. Sometimes I get confused with the numbers. I don't have the best vision in the world. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have to say, and I will see you later.